Welcome back, everyone. Going to the second half here at Drop Frames post E3 show. Let's talk Ubisoft. What were you saying was only a trailer? Waffle, what were you talking about before we went off?
Like the highlight of Ubisoft. Like, in my opinion, like I did not expect it whatsoever, but Beyond Good and Evil 2 was, they only showed the cinematic trailer for the game.
Right.
There was nothing else showed more than that, but just based on that, I don't think I've ever been more hyped for something.
Really?
Dude, it was
That did it
awesome.
for
Everything
you.
about it was awesome.
Have you played the original Beyond Good and Evil?
No, it came out in what, 2003 or something? It was a long time ago.
It was a vastly different game. There was no cursing. I mean, Dan can probably talk about it better than I can because I think he's probably played it.
Oh, it's been so I played it before, but it's been so long I can barely remember playing it.
Yeah.
I remember there was a pig guy and played as a girl, and it's just little bits and pieces. I can't remember much of it. I remember it was good though. I liked that at the time.
Yeah, it was definitely.
But I was like 17, but yeah.
Yeah. I was.
It was 10.
Maybe you guys can fill me in on this, but I was hearing stuff that it's like it's not a story. I don't know. It's like an open world game or something like that that's online or some shit. Like it's not a normal story like game. Did you guys hear this as well? Am I completely off base?
I heard something about you like control a ship and you can go to different planets and explore the planets, but I don't know how what that actually means. It's
okay. It's also a prequel.
We know what they were describing is very different from the old game.
Yeah. It seems very different to begin with. I'm trying to see if chat. It's a story-based game with co-op, according to chat. First one was pretty open world. It's been forever since I've played it, so I don't honestly remember. But yeah,
that's like 14 years ago. The technology that has grown in 14 years, it could be completely different.
It could really be.
So I played it when it came out, and I actually bought it again on Steam a couple days ago because I'm going to play it again before 2. And it's a really cool adventure game. There's combat elements, there's vehicle elements, there's this weird, crazy story of and like you guys were saying, animals that can talk and stuff. You took pictures of a lot of things, and I remember that. I think you were a reporter or something. It was fun, but I never finished it. I think something else came out, or I stopped playing it for some reason. But I'm looking forward to playing it again. And it was not only really fun, but the attitude and kind of world was much more. I mean, it was a game that was not meant necessarily for adults. Like there were a lot of just kind of general elements in it that were really fun, which is one of the reasons during the trailer when I heard them dropping all those F-bombs, I was like, this isn't Beyond Good and Evil. Like, this isn't the game I played. It was like a fun, colorful, cartoony game. Like, whoa, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah.
But, I mean, it was cool. And, I mean, there's a reason that for the last decade, people have been wanting a second one. Like, it's a pretty damn unique game even to this day.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, I think DJ Weed had the biggest response of anyone, having waited as long as he fucking did for this game. But I have a hard time getting high. And now that I'm thinking about it, it is weird that I say Ubisoft had the best conference because it's a lot of what they do, but I have a hard time getting hyped for CG trailers like this. And that's kind of what Ubisoft has always shown, and it's their bread and butter of their conferences is CG trailers, and we'll figure out the gameplay later. We'll show you the gameplay with worse graphics in a year. Don't worry about it.
I learned that hard lesson from Brink. Brink had an amazing CGI trailer, and then when it came out, it was...
Man, I haven't heard Brink in a sentence, and I actually... Anyways, that's a whole nother... Fuck Brink, but I liked Brink as well. That's an odd game. It's a really odd game. But yeah, that's what they ended their conference with, and I think that was a big surprise. I think that might be the biggest surprise of maybe E3 2017 in general. A lot of people thought that game would never be shown at all, and it was shown. I think that caught a lot of people by surprise. But they started out with my game of the show, which is Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle, which we talked a little bit about, that fucking XCOM Rabbids Mario game nonsense, which just looks fun. It just looks like it's going to be stupid fun. I can't wait for that. It's coming out this year as well. That was another thing that I liked is a lot of games they did show gameplay of are coming out this year, which is, I'm into it.
It's a weird combination. And I almost think they purchased the rights to the Microsoft, or not Microsoft, for the Nintendo, Mario IP, because they were almost afraid the idea with just Rabbids wasn't going to be successful. So they kind of, put on Mario with it to kind of guarantee its success, which maybe if that is what they did, I'd rather play it. I'm not a huge fan of XCOM, but it still looks like it'd be a really fun combination.
Yeah, I honestly think it might have been the other way around. I feel like with where Nintendo is with the Switch, they have to have games on that platform as soon as possible. And Ubisoft's always worked so closely with Nintendo in terms of being third party that they probably went to them and be like, "Hey, if we give you some if we give you some IPs like Mario or any other IP that Nintendo holds, what the fuck can you guys do with it? And we'll put it on Switch as an exclusive." And Ubisoft's probably like, "Yeah, let's go, let's be crazy. We have this Rabbids IP. Let's put those two together and see what the fuck comes out." But I never would have imagined it's a goddamn XCOM game. That is so bizarre. So bizarre.
I remember I heard they've announced this in the past, and when I heard the name, I was like, "Really, Mario and Rabbids? Like, is that really what they're doing?"
100%.
When I saw it, they did like a half-hour gameplay after the conference, and I was like, and I saw them combining moves and the jump mechanic where you can, if you move on your teammate, you can jump, which gives you an extra move, and like there's strategy and stuff. I'm like, I've never imagined Mario with a gun, but it actually kind of works a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm afraid it's gonna be like baby XCOM, where it'll be so easy. It'll just be like, okay, this is getting boring. But
that's the one thing I do fear is that it's gonna
I have the exact same concern.
Yeah, that they're gonna make it really easy.
Part of the fun is XCOM is that it's brutal. You get these crazy stories of these heroic characters doing the unimaginable, and just you come out of these ridiculously epic situations where all the odds are against you. I think this will be fun, and I think it'll be cool, but I don't know how much fun it'll be for people that are like XCOM veterans that are looking for an XCOM experience. I just don't think they'll find it here, and I think honestly that may disappoint some people. But I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe it has difficulty levels or something, and maybe we can, turn that up, and maybe there's like an XCOM veteran or something similar level.
Yeah,
so,
I would hope that Ubisoft. It seems like they're taking so much from XCOM that they're aware that game's difficult, and so I would hope with that in mind, they're gonna try. Like they'll have a difficulty scale on this game that does make it difficult. Because it's like you said, that's what XCOM is about. Is the just how fucking hard that game can be, and how on a 99% chance you're gonna miss a lot more than 1%, and that's kind of what XCOM's about, right? It's the stories that you give to your soldiers in that specific mission. If they live or die, when they fucking die, it actually sucks. It fucking sucks when those people die.
Watching the gameplay, it's definitely way more casual. If someone's out in the open, you have a 100% chance to hit. If they're under half cover, you have a 50% chance.
Okay.
If they're under full cover, you have 0% chance to hit. And doesn't matter distance. That's just flat out numbers for your characters. Except weapons do have a range. You have to be within a certain range for your weapon to hit. And one thing I found hilarious was that because it's Nintendo, the way they're spinning it is, you're not killing the Rabbids.
Yeah.
They're teleporting back to the base, so you're actually saving them.
Yeah, I
was
saw
like,
that.
Wow, Nintendo.
Well,
really?
Of course, right? Like, they're not going to show, like, Rabbids just being torn apart and fucking intestines flying out, right? Like, that's completely off-brand. Maybe they'll put, like, a realism patch, and it just shows fucking Rabbids, like, being dismembered in the middle of the battlefield with blood going everywhere. That'd be great. I'd be super into that, but it's highly unlikely it's going to happen. I think that looks great. And the nice thing is, if you're not into that, XCOM DLC comes out the same exact day.
Yeah.
So
I was like,
there's
something for everyone that
something
day.
for everyone.
If you want a turn-based RPG, you got either hard mode or easy mode.
Yeah, exactly. I also wonder if this does end up coming out on, or no, it's Switch exclusive. Never mind, it's not going to come. I was going to say if it comes out to PC, then Longward community would try to patch it or mod it, but it's Switch exclusive, so that'll never happen. Unless there's like weird emulators, but then we're getting really crazy. Assassin's Creed Origin. The one question I got to ask you, Dan and Waffle, did it show anything that made you excited to play an Assassin's Creed game?
I didn't judge the trailer too much, but I watched the half-hour gameplay after. And
What'd you think?
It felt like every Assassin's Creed before. There was nothing that was really different at all, except you have a shield now, and that's something that hasn't happened before. But you have a shield. That's the only new thing I saw. And what was really bad is the 30-minute gameplay demo was so full of bugs. And this
Really?
game is coming. This game's coming out in like a few months, and it just ships were blinking on the water, flickering when he was scanning, and characters were just doing that disappearing thing where they're walking and then poof, there's this gone. It was not a great representation if you're trying to sell the game, because it's full of bugs. And they had a big, this is alpha gameplay. I was like, but the game's coming out so soon. Huh?
Yeah,
That's really not good.
that's rough. I didn't realize
I'm not really hyped at all. Nothing really caught my eye for it.
Yeah.
The only thing that caught my eye was the monitor that they used a camera to shoot. When they were
Yeah,
showing
can we
games.
talk about that for a second? Because what in the fuck, man? That was so... I understand what they were doing. They were trying to say, hey, watch after this conference because we're going to show Assassin's Creed gameplay. That's why we're not going full screen. But
Dude, you do that by showing a little glimpse of fucking awesome gameplay, and that makes people want to go watch it afterwards. Not
Yeah, that was
a
really
sunny
bad.
monitor outside.
It was really, really
Yeah.
in terms of fuck ups throughout the entire conference, that might be worse than the random buffering and the sound issues in Sony, because it didn't fuck up. There was nothing that was that happened that went wrong. It was just a bad idea from the very beginning.
Horrible decision on whoever decided to do that.
Yeah. Oh, this is it right here. Here we go. This is what we're talking about. You're gonna see the camera on this fucking monitor.
I'm still convinced it was a tech issue.
I bet their capture card.
The tech issues. The sun was out.
I mean, the guy did clearly say that. Oh well, the sun's out today, or something along that line. So
he did,
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know.
What the fuck, man? And they pull back too. That's what makes it worse. Is it got worse the further back they zoomed out.
If you squint real hard, you can just barely see.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
So right now I'm on a horse. I think
I'm on that horse. Yeah, I can't fucking see anything. This is a
That
hawk.
sounds so realistic. Damn, I feel like I'm there.
Yeah, it. Ugh.
Can we talk about the worst part about this game? I'm looking on their website right now, and there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different editions to buy, with the top edition costing $800 fucking dollars.
The $800 edition. Tally actually pre-ordered that during the conference. I think he got a $800 version. I don't know what comes with that though. Does it list there, Waffle?
It does, yeah. We'll go to the read more. It's a lot of shit. It really is. But it's not worth $800. You get a statue that's 73 centimeters tall.
That's pretty big.
You get a pre-order mission, a naval mission, a Desert Cobra pack, which I think is in-game items, an art book, premium eagle skull amulet. You get maps and art cards, a steel book, which is just the case the game's in, the official soundtrack, a gold edition of the game, 4 lithographs, season pass included. Which, by the way, let me just remind you, if you ever played any other games. I've played, I don't know if it's the same thing. There have been games where the DLC have not been included in the season pass because it doesn't count towards the season pass. So I don't fucking believe in season passes anymore. Oh, you also get a certificate of authenticity, which is important.
Yay.
I guess, for collectors.
It is a 28.5-inch statue, so that's what, 2.5 feet ish.
Yeah. Do you care?
That's the only thing I'd see that's worth that could be worth anything in the what's listed here.
$800.
Well,
I know, and there's that's the
yeah.
only thing I'm seeing that could be making it cost that much. Everything else just seems like it's, cards, an art book. This stuff's not expensive. Steel book, nothing else is expensive other than that statue. It must be a damn good statue.
Yeah, it must be a sideshow collectible quality statue.
Hear me out here. Ubisoft could be just drastically overcharging for it.
You know why?
Maybe.
What?
Maybe.
They're only making 200 of these.
Right. Yeah. I think I did the math. I think it's $160,000 if all those sell. If they sell 200 units of that, and there's 200 fools like Tally. Well, 199 like Tally. They're gonna buy this, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna probably sell out of this.
don't forget, there's also that's called the Dawn of Creed Legendary Edition. There's also the Dawn of Creed Collector's Edition, the Gods Collector's Edition, the Gold Steelbook Edition, the Gold Edition, Deluxe Edition, Standard Edition. Like,
Yeah,
we
Ubisoft's
got every edition. For
horrible
you,
with this kind of stuff.
Every
with
one.
You have to have like a spreadsheet to find out what you're getting, what you're not, with all the different editions. I remember still old days where we just went to the store and just bought the game and you had it all, and that was it.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's like a used car salesman. It's like where you get the car, or you can get the car with the rust resistant spray. We also have a spray you can put on the windshield to help with sun. We also have a new car smell we can put in there. It's just, how much money you want to give us? We'll just keep giving you shit. I mean, just give us as much as you want. We got plenty of shit for you.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Here's an image that people can look at if they want to see all the differences.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. I was showing it off on.
Okay.
Between all the different editions, you're saying?
Yeah, that's all the different editions. Yeah.
Let's see.
They don't have the price label
Oh
on there,
my
which
god.
is good. Yep.
That is kind of. Jesus.
When you have to make detailed infographics for your versions of the game you're selling. Oh my lord.
It is. It's also. Like the weirdest thing, and then we'll move on from Assassin's Creed. The weirdest thing about this is Assassin's Creed, I think, has been the best-selling IP for Ubisoft. And they spent, in their main conference, less than 10 minutes on it. And then they showed the
didn't even
gameplay
show
afterwards.
gameplay. They didn't even show
But
gameplay
dude-
during the main conference.
And also that's because they don't have to. Like the brand is so big. Like why spend more money than you
Maybe.
barely need to? Like, hey, new Assassin's Creed, cool. We good? We good? Great. Okay, cut it.
Yeah.
Like, and that's it. That's all they have to do. Everyone's like, oh, new AC. Oh, okay.
Maybe you're right, but like that was so weird to me. Like, especially when you make an announcement that you're taking a year off from pushing these games out to work on the game, and there wasn't. And maybe this is I forgot what we were saying, what other game it was, but maybe it's the case of you can't change too much, because if you do, then
Far
you piss
Cry.
off the base. Yeah, it was Far Cry. That's what it was. Another Ubisoft title. Funny enough. But yeah, you can't change too much because you piss off the base, right? You piss off the normal customers. Maybe so. I just, as someone who liked Syndicate, I really worry about this game. Syndicate being the last Assassin's Creed to come out that took place in like London or whatever. I really wonder if I'll enjoy this. If it's going to be more story focused. They didn't talk about the Animus as far as I know. I know when you die or when you go into a loading, it does have the same like loading screen of other Assassin's Creed where you're running around in that like weird digital realm or whatever. But story-wise, I don't know.
I do love Egyptian lore, so I hope the story is good because Egyptian stuff like really fascinates me. So I hope the story is at least good.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Someone said
Agreed.
they took a year off to make all the statues, so maybe so.
Also, not only do we get like a sage skill line and bendy arrows in the air,
Oh,
but also
God,
at
yeah.
one point in the trailer, he is fighting a huge snake. And it's like, that's, they normally keep it pretty rooted in reality. So this could be
Right.
an interesting direction to see, like where are they kind of going with that. Maybe he's on some weird vision quest or something, though. Ubi
Yeah.
loves to do their vision quests.
He took
So,
some
it could just be that
ayahuasca
kind of
or
thing.
something or whatever the fuck.
It's not a Far Cry if you're not tripping balls at some point.
Yeah, exactly. Now what might be the shortest game we talk about, or the shortest amount of time we talk about a game. Is anyone actually interested in the Crew 2? Waffle, maybe this is targeted towards you and the Night Crew. Like, do you guys care about the Crew 2? Do you care about the Crew 2?
Played the crew. Yeah, we played the crew, and I gotta say,
I didn't like it when I played it. What
yeah,
did
I
you guys
didn't like the cutscenes were so like, ugh, like it wasn't really that great. Was that? Oh no, I'm thinking of the Need for Speed game as well with the stupid ass cutscenes. No, the crew. I'm not really. No, I actually thought when they were announcing that they were announcing a non-winter version of Steep,
Yeah.
and I thought they were gonna call it like Speed or something.
I
like
think that's what
stupid,
this
and
is, though, right? Like,
that it looks just like a non-wintry version of Steep, which take that as you want it. I'm not the hugest fan of Steep. I know they've improved things quite a bit, and I want to go back and try it again. But I don't know if it'll be. The driving looks really arcadey. It doesn't look unique at all. I don't know. It just looks kind of nothing special.
yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm kind of mid by that whole thing. It looks like they're going. The original Crew was about a criminal turned by the FBI to try to like get other criminals or something undercover. This one just looks like you're a fucking sports extreme star or some shit. I don't know. I'm not too hyped for the Crew 2. I don't I don't know anyone who is. Like, is anyone in chat super excited for The Crew 2? I'm really curious.
There's one person.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
got to be one.
I was just like, really? You're still trying this IP? Like, it's the third attempt.
Yeah, the idea is definitely cool. Like, go across the entire U.S. with a group of friends and like an open world racing game. It's kind of cool. Like, it's not a bad idea. I didn't think the game was that great. Co, your feelings haven't changed on this since we watched it live, have they? Yeah.
Not at all. No.
I
I gave
didn't.
the first one a try. Really wasn't my thing. I don't think this one's going to be either.
Okay. I think that's good enough to move on. South Park, The Fractured Butthole, or just South Park, The Butthole. I think everyone's pretty excited for that. I think it looks cool.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah.
Time. Do you
Yeah.
think they delayed the
It did.
game? So
Game's
they
already
can make
supposed
a
to be
mobile
out.
game?
Yeah, there is a mobile game coming out. I don't know if that had anything to do with the delay. But the mobile game's like this weird card game, right? They're going after the like Elder Scrolls get card game
Yeah.
thing.
It looked like it was like battles, but like you have to wait for your attacks to recharge, which are cards that you collect or something.
Yeah,
I'd have to see more of it, but it looks definitely very mobile.
yeah. It looks like a mobile game. But
But if it's funny enough, I will play it.
the humor might save that for sure. Yeah.
Dude, I spent like 4 hours in that Rick and Morty Pokemon thing when I was traveling. So
Yeah, you're right. If
I
it,
have played more Rick and Morty Pokemon than actual Pokemon.
yeah, I understand. The comedy's good. It's there. It makes it fun. But yeah, I didn't think this would get mentioned during the conference because it's been delayed so many times and we've seen so much of this game. I think this is like the 4th trailer they've shown of it. But hopefully it actually doesn't. It comes out now. They don't delay it again. I hope it comes out because it does looks exactly like the first with just superhero comedy and Call Girl, which is the silliest name for a female
great.
superhero who's like 7 years old. Like, Jesus Christ. I can't wait to hear Zeke freak out about this next week on the show. Because this is like his bread and butter. I think it was his one thing that he was super excited for going into E3. But yeah, there's not too much to say. It looks great. I love that Aquaman shows up apparently right there for like a split second. I can't wait to see them just fucking destroy Aquaman as a character. It's gonna be a lot of fun. That game looks fun, definitely. After that, they showed that Transference VR horror game with Elijah Wood.
Yeah, I am very curious about this. This
Yeah.
looks I'm not even sure it's a game. It may just be some kind of weird VR experience kind of art piece thing. I really want to know more about that.
Yeah, I think that's everyone's opinion. They want us to know more.
If there's a company I trust with VR right now, though, it is Ubisoft. Surprisingly, I can't believe I'm saying that, but they've been nailing the VR games like recently.
They
especially
have,
with
dude.
Star Trek.
Star Trek was
Yeah.
so good, yeah.
Yeah. And before that, I played a bit of Eagle Flight, which they announced last E3.
Was that any good?
I don't know. I loved it, man. That was actually a really fun game. Like, of all the VR games I played, I don't know if it was fully. I only got to play for like 2 hours or so, but it was surprisingly fun and different, right? You're a bird, and flying around as a bird is a really cool experience in VR. And they did it in a way where it gave you like no motion sickness. Dan, did you do that with us?
I was expecting to find Eagle Flight boring, but it was actually pretty fun. It's a very simplistic, like capture the flag kind of deathmatch game, and it's
Yeah.
And if you don't want to do that, you can just go single player and just fly around the city as an eagle, and it's relaxing.
Is there a sense of speed to it?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
but it's not like you can get really fast, but it doesn't give you motion sickness because the way they handle it with like the making yourself have less FOV and like tunnel vision kind of deal.
Yeah.
You have a lot less peripheral vision. It balances it really nicely.
Huh.
So I'm kind of hoping for a psychological thriller game out of it, but at the same time, I fucking hate anything scary, so I probably will leave it to Dan to play it.
Yeah.
Watch him.
It does. I mean, they're going for a horror theme here, obviously, and it'll probably be like psychological horror instead of like jump horror. So I'm even more nope out of there. But yeah, for Cohen and Dan, this seems right up your alley. Seems super great. It's also weird to see Elijah Wood.
Yeah.
Random thing I just thought about while you guys were talking right there. We need Star Wars Pod Racer VR.
Oh, that would be great.
I'd be
Yeah.
into that. Yeah, I'd be into
I
that.
think I think that needs to happen.
I think
Yeah,
with
you need
go ahead, Dan.
said EA needs to jump on that. Like they got the
Well-
IP rights right now, so
Got to do it well though.
Yeah, we'll get to the EA conference. I was pretty tilted that they only showed one Star Wars IP for that. But we got to get through this. Skull and Bones, the next Ubisoft game. I think a lot of people were pleasantly surprised by that. Super interested in the 5v5 aspect. Waffle, you probably have, and maybe Ko, you probably have the most experience with Black Wake, which is maybe the most similar thing here, but not at all. Like it's very different.
It might sound similar because they're pirate games, but they're going to play completely different, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like Black Wake, right? It's like, let's just go for Skull and Bones. It seems like it's almost a For Honor, but with boats. That's kind of the feeling I'm getting for it. Every ship is crewed by only one person. There's like aim assisting. There's hit markers. It's a lot more arcadey. Black Wake is like first person only. You're like the crew of the ship is multiple people, and everyone has to kind of do their own job. And it's much more based off your crew than it is like your crew has to perform well for you to do well in the battle, and it's much more hardcore and I guess real than what I would say Skull and Bones is. But like games like World of Warships, which I feel like will be kind of a close approximation for this, are still a lot of fun.
Totally.
And I don't know. I hope it doesn't flop as much as like For Honor did, but
well, For Honor sold like unbelievably well.
True.
Just no one
that's
played
true.
it after the month that it came out.
It died.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what
There's some really good stuff going for this game, though. First of all, it's naval combat in the style of a game called World of Warships, which has an avid player base that has been around for a long time.
Yeah.
So hopefully Ubisoft is paying attention to some of the things that keep the longevity in that game, because it could very easily transition to this one. Now, of course, a lot of people have some critiques of the World of Warships kind of progression style, but they could easily put in some really long-term progression mechanics in this game and keep it interesting for a long time. Also, I think it's pretty damn awesome how not only are they doing the ship stuff, but apparently, and I really hope one of you guys have seen this, they showed more of Skull and Bones, and there's apparently a story, and there's parts where you actually play your character running around. Like there's a lot to this game that wasn't shown in this part, even though this part looked incredible, and I would just play a game based on this.
Dude, I
It's
really
the World of Warships dreadnoughty combat, which is really cool.
I
mean, this looks like a killer game. I really can't wait to play this one.
I really wonder if that's a response into For Honor not having a single player, and once you've kind of played, once you've gotten what you want out of that multiplayer, there's no reason to go back to it. If you add a single player experience to this, then there is something for the people who don't give a shit about playing competitive multiplayer games. They can actually still get something out of this. That seems smart business wise.
Yeah, like Assassin's Creed Black Flag is one of my favorite Assassin's Creeds because of the ship combat and the sailing, and having a single player story as a pirate game again is just, that's going to draw me in. I'm going to play the fuck out of that. I cannot wait, because pirates is one of my favorite genres of games. There's just not enough of them, and not enough that's like single player. There's multiplayer stuff, but having single player pirate games excites the hell out of me.
Chat, before we say that For Honor had a single player, it had a single player game.
It had a
with
demo
quotes.
for the
It
the
had a
classes,
fucking demo for
basically.
multiplayer is what that single player game is. Get out of here, Chad. For Honor sucks. All right, I did a sponsored stream and I hated that fucking game. Let's move on from For Honor. Waffle, I cut you off. I'm sorry. Do you remember what you were gonna say? Probably
no,
not.
I don't.
That always
I think
happens.
I
I'm
had
sorry,
most
man.
of it out.
Yeah,
I like the sea shanty part, man. When they were showing the like the very beginning of all the ships kind of heading towards each other. Oh god, I think this would be a great game for a bunch of streamers to get together and just like fight each other like we did in For Honor. I can see it happening again. I think it'll be fun. We'll all enjoy it.
Yeah. I also hope there's like, did they talk about Ko and do you know if they talked about like a progression system or like what you can do?
The only hints they gave were at the beginning when the ship was slowly constructing, which kind of maybe hinted at like you can piece by piece upgrade your ship over time, but they have not given any hard details on that. And I think a lot of people are wondering that, because that's going to be the difference between a flash in the pan and if I'm going to be playing this in 3 weeks plus kind of thing.
Totally, yeah. Just Dance. Let's move on.
Yeah,
the start.
Summarizes that.
Yeah, it was kind of, the song choices were interesting this time around because they came out with they came out with
that was amazing.
Bubble
I was
Pop
singing
there.
along.
Yeah, is a StarCraft fan for me and Waffle. I was like, what the that's Bubble Pop.
Sorry.
What the fuck?
Sorry for the stop here, just real quick before we move on. Apparently, it's not a true single player. Zeke interviewed the Ubisoft guys. They were said in there's a progression where you start with a very bad ship because you had a disagreement with the king, apparently, and you have to work your way through that. But it looks like it may be kind of For Honor style single player, where it's just like a little scene and then you do a fight that's based on the story, scene, little fight, that kind of thing. So apparently, it's all in the twitch.tv/Twitch interview with the Ubi guys.
Gotcha. I hope Twitch goes back and like cuts all those out and makes them their own VOD so you don't have to search through a 12-hour VOD.
Same.
Yeah, that stuff's sometimes rough.
It's one of the reasons I haven't seen him yet.
Yeah, exactly. Just Dance, we talked about the South Park mobile game. Starlink, that weird like Toys to Life thing that I've never seen from the people we had on the show go from like this meteoric rise, like, oh my, it's a space game. This looks fucking great. And then they zoom out and like show a fucking controller with this weird ass ship contraption attached to it, and the hype just immediately went away. That game just doesn't do anything for me at all. I don't.
And everyone's saying that like all the parts are available as digital items and stuff. It's still the concept of like they're like in the trailer they were saying, you know, equipped better weapons and better armor for like your for the missions. What it really means to say is pay for better armor and pay for better weapons. It's all it feels very money grabby, and so many games have tried to do this and it just never really works. So do you know any game like that that's good? No.
As someone who's played a lot of Skylanders, because my girlfriend's kid likes Skylanders.
Yeah.
I had no idea that game was as it's not very deep, but it is deep. It's basically a Diablo style game. Like you can create your own characters, you get loot to like upgrade your characters and all that. Like there are actual loot drops in that game. There's also ways to pay for loot chests to get items in that game, which is obviously where they make their money. But there's some depth for sure in like Skylanders, but I just don't. That game's not for us. And the way that they marketed or they showed it here during the conference, they didn't really go for like a young audience with it as well. It's not like I don't know. That was a weird showing. I guess that was more for investors than
I mean,
us.
if it's a toy-based game, I think the younger audience is going to be their absolute demographic they're going for. Even if they didn't specify that's what it is, that's just the reality of it. I don't think it's going to be big for older audiences.
Yep. Steep, Road to the Olympics. Let's just give it like 5 or 6.
I've heard they've redone Steep.
Really?
Didn't they? Recently, and they actually improved quite a bit of things. I'm going to go with the Night Stream crew. We're going to go back and try it again, I think, in a week or so. And I want to see if they've actually improved it at all. Okay. Because I had fun with Steep, just kind of messing around with it a little bit. I played it quite a bit, but I don't know, man. I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be fun with friends for a little bit, and then it's going to die off again. It depends how much it's going to be for the. Did they call it an expansion or is it DLC?
Let's see. I think first expansion.
Okay, so yeah, I wonder how much they're going to charge for it. I think it'll be fun.
Probably, I would think like
Steep's
$15, $20, something like that.
Yeah, if that's true, that'd be great. Steep's definitely a social game to play with friends.
Yeah. That comes out December 5th, I think, is the launch date for that. I'm sure they'll have a beta for it because they had a lot of betas for Steep in general, like beta weekends, but that game just didn't do anything for me when it launched. So I'm just, meh. Dan, for you, meh.
Yeah, it's just not my thing.
Yeah, didn't think so. And then Far Cry 5, because we talked about Beyond Good and Evil. I don't know about Far Cry 5. Me and Co have kind of shared our thoughts, so I'd love to hear from Waffle and Dan about it and where you guys think if Far Cry 5 is worth it.
Like, I played 3. I liked 3. Then I played 4, and I was like, wow, this feels like the same game. Like, so close to the same game.
This is exactly what me and Co were saying. Yeah. The only saving grace for this is that apparently you can play the single player with a friend, like through the entire thing. It's co-opable, which
That
might
can
be a
help.
saving grace. It might be fun to do.
Also looks really pretty.
Yeah.
It'd be fun to kind of wander around America in that engine and see what they're doing with it.
Yeah. Maybe co-op with Zeke and be like, Zeke, does this place actually exist? Is this what it's actually like in Montana?
My grandpa's house.
Yeah. Waffle for you, is this doing anything?
I'm excited for the co-op part. We'll see if they make it unique enough to be something that's really memorable.
Yeah.
But yeah, co-op I'll probably hit up.
I think it was the Giant Bomb guys for E3 Judges Week, which is a week that, like 3 or 4 weeks before E3, they fly in a bunch of people and make them sign NDAs and show them a lot of games that they're going to see at E3. And apparently in that demo, when they were shown this game, they were saying it was a very like serious experience, and they were just like talking like, this is real life. This is actually happening in Montana. It's fucking scary over there. We're gonna scare you, blah blah blah. And then go to what this was, and it was like, this game's fun. You kill people, and it's like it's an enjoyable experience, and you can have fun. Like, it was a complete 180 to what they showed behind closed doors. So I really wonder if this game's gonna be like super dark and super serious in the single player aspect, and we're just not getting that from what they're showing to the majority of people throughout the conference. That's one thing I'm curious to see for sure. But yeah, I'm with you, Waffle. Might be fun to co-op, but after Primal, I'm kind of and after Far Cry 4, to be honest, I kind of lost interest in the series for sure. But we'll see.
That was a cutoff for me too.
Yeah. What is next? The PC Gaming Show. I don't know if we're gonna go through this thing by thing. But any
big ones.
Yeah, any highlights for you guys?
XCOM 2 expansion.
Yeah.
XCOM 2 expansion. That was the big one for me.
Okay.
More BattleTech stuff, which is coming along really nicely. That game's looking great.
Yeah, BattleTech looked awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
They announced Warhammer. What was that?
There's a lot of indie stuff in that conference. Like the who was it? Chucklefish announced a new project that looks like Advanced Wars. If you guys have ever played that game back in the day with a fully customized
I heard about
map
that.
editor and everything. That's looking really cool. Did we see more stuff about last night? I think we did. That cyberpunk
a little bit.
pixel art, with realistic graphics behind it. That looks really cool. There were definitely some more. Chat, what else did we miss from the PC conference?
There was some
and
Lawbreaker
the very
stuff.
End, that teaser.
Lawbreaker.
Age of
Cliffy was on there. Oh,
Empires.
Mountain Blade 2.
Vampires? What?
I said Age of Empires.
Oh yeah,
Remake.
God, that was. I woke up
Yeah.
to that and I was like, "Holy shit, they're making a new fucking." Oh my fuck! It's the 7th remake of Age of Empires. I was kind of bummed by that for sure. War Groove is the name of that Chucklefish game that Ko was talking about. Middle Earth, Shadow of War,
Mountain Blade.
Mountain Blade stuff. Yeah,
I love Mountain Blade games. They're great. Bike Man got me into them, and now I can't wait for this one.
yeah.
That game is coming along. Like it is looking so good. I was watching that footage on the PC Gamer conference, and it was like you kept seeing like skill ups, and he was doing all sorts of crazy stuff, jumping off horseback and going right into melee, and all of the animations looked good, and the contact between weapons and shields and stuff looked good. I mean, it was, got me hyped for that game.
Cool. Trying to see. I'm scanning this Google Doc real quick to see if there's anything else.
Killing Floor 2 a little bit. Which
Total
I love.
War, Warhammer 2, which is gonna be fun.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check Total War, Warhammer 2 out. Although a lot of people just feel that's like DLC 2 game.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be like Tropico 3 to 4, where it's not a lot different. It's just new maps and stuff.
Yeah, they showed some player unknown stuff, some battleground stuff, weather settings, the new gun, the 2 new maps. Like there's a desert map and a snow map apparently coming.
Can't wait.
Yeah, that stuff looks cool. Stability and performance fixes.
They're redoing a lot of animations as well.
Yeah.
At least on their Twitter, they were talking a lot. They were showing a lot of the mocap sessions of them too, which is pretty cool. So.
Yeah. They showed the vaulting and the climbing systems as well.
Oh, diving out of windows and stuff.
Yeah.
Dan, are you playing that tomorrow?
He is playing that tomorrow. Let's talk about that. Dan,
Yeah.
Is it because there's just nothing else? I mean, I shouldn't ask why the fuck. It's a great game, but it's totally not like it.
Everyone's playing it, and like I don't play multiplayer very much, and I just want to try to branch out a little bit. I'm like, all right, I'll try this game out. I'm gonna be the person that's like, okay, now how do I open stuff? How do I loot?
Dan, we should totally squad tomorrow. Just saying.
Yeah.
If you ever want to, just let me know.
You should do like 1 or 2 games solo to like understand what the fuck's going on, and then never play solo again and only play with other people.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that game as a solo experience is still fun, but it's nothing compared to like co-op stuff.
Yeah, I only see people playing multiplayer and in teams.
Yeah. That would definitely be the way to play it if I were to play it. So, Yeah, then they announced like the zombie mode thing. Have you guys heard of that? Seen the zombie mode stuff on Twitter? Apparently, it came from like custom games that some of the PUBG, what are they called? The
PUBG custom games. Yeah, they were basically doing their own custom games inside of the custom game system, and the devs saw this and were like, we kind of want to help facilitate this. And they've done a whole bunch of really cool side work. And what's even crazier about all this is they did all this really good side work on these zombies. The zombies look great. If you don't know what we're talking about, go look on the PlayerUnknown Twitter. The animations look good. They interact with player models well. Like, there's a lot of good stuff in there. And they're in the tweets like, yeah, we're thinking about putting this in down the road. And all I can think of the whole time I'm watching that is, you're thinking about putting in zombies that are 10 times what DayZ's been trying to make for years as an afterthought. Like, holy shit, night and day development companies here. Like, it's amazing. And you look at, like, I remember looking at this going, this looks cool. Like, I can imagine playing around with this. This could be a lot of fun. And they're already thinking, I'm sure, about crazy mechanics you could do with this in game modes. And, oh, man, yeah, it looks very cool.
So my understanding is that there are people in the game that are normal PUBG players, right? There's like guys that can go grab guns. But then the other people are zombies, and then they hunt them down. That's the basis of the game?
It's a form of RP.
Okay.
So basically what happens is there's lots of different ways to do it. It's a rule set, but essentially you get one squad or group that's communicating on comms. They get all the weapons. They get loaded up. They're the survivors. And then everyone else are the zombies. And depending on your rule set, zombies can only use melee weapons, can only use their fists, can stim up to run speed, but that's it. They can't heal. Like, there's all sorts of different ways to play it. But it's essentially players acting as zombies, fighting against a small group of survivors, and then they could be moving around the map, or there's one point they have to rush to, and stuff like that.
Okay. All right.
Sounds like so much fun.
Yeah, I'm down to play that. That sounds fucking fun.
And there's no better AI than players. Like,
right,
you can't simulate that. Yeah.
I mean, you could,
dude,
yeah, that sounds great.
What's even crazier is now the players, of course, have to operate within the confines of the game world. You're just a naked player. But looking at this trailer, I mean, these guys are jumping off roofs and immediately being able to react right there, pouncing on people, like crouching over them and eating them. These guys could make this game mode so interesting, completely next level stuff. And that's the kind of stuff that spawns entire genres like Battle Royale.
Yeah.
So, it's really cool to see the devs just diving in and getting their hands dirty with basically fan-made and used stuff. So it's pretty cool. It's like the opposite of what, well, never mind.
Yeah.
I was going to say what Star's doing, but we're just going to leave that alone right now.
Yeah, let's just move on. Yeah, I think that looks cool. I think it'd be super fun, like, if the four of us jumped into a PUBG custom game and then just had our fans join in there, and we just, like, we had to fucking run from them nonstop.
Have your subs try to kill you or something.
Yeah.
Also, kind of interesting, right now to do a zombie game, obviously you need 100 people that are willing to play it. So it's like, because if any one person wants to ruin it for everyone, they could just go loot guns and shoot around. So it'd be really cool to see a game mode where you could play that game mode publicly, not necessarily in a closed custom game with a password, but like the rules are already part of the game, so you can just queue up for a zombie mode game. You can't do anything like that right now. So that'll be kind of big too.
I did see that they were actually, like, on the PUBG creator Twitter account, they were hosting games with this mod on it, like, yesterday. And people were joining in and playing it. I don't know if it was this specific mod.
In-game zombies?
Yeah, or if it was the game that spawned this, the game type that spawned this. But I saw them tweeting that out yesterday. I didn't join. I didn't tune in to, like, see what it was. But if anyone in chat knows what the fuck that was, like, if it was the actual zombie aspect, that's fucking crazy for them to show that stuff. Well, I feel like we've cut you off 5 or 6 times. What did they show for Killing Floor 2? What was that?
Oh, no, it's just DLC and stuff. I'm more excited, I think, for Griftlands. Because I think the company's called Clay. Is that the proper way of saying it? Clay?
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
They made Don't Starve Together, Oxygen Not Included. Like, they've got some really good games under their belt and everything, and I'm hyped. It looks like it's more of an RPG. So, I love the art style. I want to play it.
Dude, I'm totally with you there. It looks like a combination of an adventure game with Darkest Dungeon combat in, like, where you move through a world. I mean, and there's a bunch of dialogue and interesting characters from the looks of it. This could be a really cool game.
Huh. I didn't even see I've never seen this before. This looks great. I like the art style.
Clay's a great company, and everything they've produced has just been solid, so I'm hyped.
They're the guys that made Invisible Wars? Was that them?
I don't know. I can look it up if you want me to.
I think that was them. Chad will chime in just a second. Did they show gameplay at some point in this? Like right here, I guess.
Yep,
Huh.
Invisible Ink. Invisible Ink for sure. Mark of the Ninja, Hot Lava.
It's Invisible Ink. Okay. Cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does look very banner soggy. I agree, chat. Looks cool. Was there anything else that they showed? What do you guys think about Lawbreakers? Jericho was like ranting that game's, to be blunt, that game's good now. Like, what do you guys think about it?
Cliffy B's game, right? Cliffy
Yeah,
B, who
yeah.
was like one of the main people behind Epic for a long time.
Yeah.
Left it. This is his game he's producing. What we experienced back in the a while ago is nothing like what they showed. It's what I guess as Jericho said, it's a vast improvement. It's nothing like it was before.
Huh.
So
I'll have to look into
I mean,
that.
JP, we know that. I mean, think about when we played it, just what, 2.5 years ago? I mean, that was nothing like what we saw at that. I mean, it was slower. There was a lot less variety, a lot less flashy. There was a whole bunch of graphic optimization and like level of detail that we didn't have. It has come very far. And as somebody who's not even played it recently, just from what we saw, it's come pretty damn far.
I feel bad.
Is it going to be far enough to be a success? I have no idea. But I mean, it's come a long way.
I feel bad because that team always reaches out to me. It's like, hey, you want to come play our game? I'm just like, I got something going. It's
Dude, you feel bad? Their studios are 40 minutes from me.
Oh my god.
Bro, I used to.
Yeah. Maybe they have a launch date, don't they? Isn't that like August something or other? Didn't they?
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming pretty soon.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
and not only that, but they were stressing. Like Cliffy B came out on stage, and to his credit, like it was really cool of him to do what he did, because he basically came out on stage and he was like, "Look, our game isn't balanced, and that's because we aren't going to be the ones that balance it. You guys are going to tell us through feedback what works and what doesn't, and we are listening." And he like really kind of went into the fact that
that's good.
They really want this to work well, and they're going to be listening and monitoring everything that goes on and changing it, as much as they need to. And they're definitely dedicated to this being a success. Doesn't mean it's going to be, but they are dedicated to attempting to make it a big success. They're sticking with it.
That's good. That's good to hear.
So it's good for fans.
Dan, Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, it's not on this. Ask Dan this question. I'll add it in after.
I was gonna move something else, so go ahead.
Okay, can we fit Fortnite into this category, because it doesn't really fit in the other ones? But
Totally. What that game's been talked about for like 13 years. It feels like. What the fuck is Fortnite? Did they show like gameplay and stuff?
I don't know if they showed it directly at that conference. I know they released a gameplay kind of like trailer-esque thing before E3 even started.
Okay.
But it's been in development for a really fucking long time. They had like early access, like really early beta, I guess alpha stuff that had a few like behind NDA'd play testers for it, which we took part in. It's made by Epic Games. It looks so much different than what we played like 2 years ago. It looks insane. It is.
Yeah. It looks like a lot of fun. Like the basic premise: you go out during the day, you gather materials, you build a base, defend it during storms at night. But one bad thing is it's free to play, so it's got that model where you have limited inventory slots. Oh, you can buy some more.
Can you buy like? Is there like a $50 package that's like buy the game or something like that?
Oh yeah, you can pay $40 to play it early, and then you get like a hero. Or you can pay $150 and get it early and get like a bunch of DLC stuff. But don't worry, it's valued at $350, so you're saving money. Is what they say on their site.
That's rough. Okay, that kind of This gameplay I'm seeing looks cool though.
It looks great. Just the building of bases and everything, it looks really unique. Going out and collecting materials, seems like there's some sort of story kind of thing you're following. They're saying that like there's no world's going to be the same. So I assume there's going to be a lot of procedurally generated stuff as well. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun just to play with some friends.
Is it server-based, Waffle?
I don't know.
Okay.
I have no idea yet. We have to see.
Yeah. The big thing was that they had a release date, right? Let's see. Pre-order available everywhere July 25th. So next month.
July 25th. Yep.
Yeah. Cool.
And the Play Start bonus is July 21st. So if you spend the whatever oogles amount of money it is.
Well, here's a little bit of the like hero customization stuff. Let me find this screen and pause on it.
Yeah. The normal edition, the deluxe edition, is the play 4 days early, which is $60.
That does look really expansive, like the base building stuff.
And there's like a massive, almost like sphere grid for like abilities for the 4 different classes they've announced so far. Like it actually, like I want to play it. I really, really want to play it. Just mainly for the building the bases. The bases aren't just like, if you ever played Dungeon Defenders and everything, it's not just like you're placing tiles in the ground. You're building vertical buildings all the way up, and it's, I mean, it looks like my kind of game. I love creative stuff.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely want to check this out. Definitely a with friends game though. Doesn't seem like it's a fun solo.
With friends.
Yeah.
Fun with
And
friends.
if you're a single player person, they do have single player mode if you were into that.
So there's like, let's see. Damn, they have like health regenerate, shield regenerate, hero ability, run speed, sprint speed, like all that stuff.
Yep. Seems like the way you make weapons, there's like a certain level for your weapon, but also how the quality of it. So I'm hoping like the quality of metals or materials you gather will let you craft certain weapons, and you have to like be skilled enough to be able to make those weapons. Then you could use those.
Holy
in conjunction
shit.
with a bunch of it. It's crazy, man.
There's a
like it looks
look at
really
this skill
expansive.
tree. That looks absurd.
Yeah, it's like it's a whole sphere grid, and I don't know if that's per class because there's 4 classes they mentioned, or if that's all of them combined, and you kind of just go down whatever skill tree you want.
Does it go further to the right?
Yeah, it looks like it. In this video, it doesn't. They quickly show it.
Whoa,
And then look
what
at
was
that world map.
What
They
was that?
showed it really fast. That's the world map that they were kind of like, giving a good idea of what it looks like. And I was trying to decipher
Damn.
what the actual things mean, but I couldn't really come to a good conclusion for it. But
Those
it looks
look like
it's gonna be-
resources.
Guessing
or
difficulty levels. Yeah,
Yeah.
it starts at green for easy and red for hard. But I get, does it?
Well,
that's
like
weird.
this is
there
a
progression?
car. This is like people. That's like communications or something. So maybe like each one gives you different resources if you complete it or
Oh, that
something.
looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
I could-
Or maybe that's where in the world you have to go to like find certain resources. Or talking about going in all the buildings and looting and that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, there's a very elaborate like loot and advancement system, sort of like Diablo, to make you play for months on end, like so you can keep playing, keep progressing.
Yeah.
Wow. That comes out in July. I bet that's going to be very big on Twitch. I think you're going to
And
see
I
a
would
lot of
say
people playing that.
It looks fun.
if that is what they're saying, that that seems like a $60 game to me. I like to do like a dollar per hour for like non-story based games, so I think I could easily get 60 hours out of it if
Yeah.
this is the kind of complexity it has to it.
Yeah, that looks really in depth. I had no idea. I know that I knew that they put a launch date to it, but I had always shrugged the game off because it had always looked much worse than this. This looks like a complete game, which looks cool. I want to check
Yeah, I'm
that out in
excited.
July. Looks good. Dan, talk to me about the Devolver nonsense that they showed, because it was nonsense. There was no games. There was nothing. It was just kind of a mock E3 conference.
Have you seen it, or
I've
have you
seen
not
bits
seen
of it. I've seen like the lady like talking at the end, and then she starts getting a nosebleed, and then that's
Yeah,
how
like-
it ends.
I went into this after Bethesda's conference, super late at night. I was tired. I was like, okay, there's one more press conference. I had no idea this was not a real press conference. And so they come on stage, do all this stuff, and like then it starts getting weird. Like like this guy, like he touches the screen and like his arm chops off and he starts spraying blood all over the announcer lady and all the people on stage, just like dying slowly. And then later on, everyone starts like bleeding blood out of their nose and eyes and start screaming, and then their head just explodes. And I was just like, I was so confused and just caught off guard. I had no idea what was happening. It was the most bizarre, disturbing, and epic thing ever. And they had some cool jokes like, we're not doing early access, we're doing earliest access. As soon as someone has an idea, you can pay for it and not play it right away.
They kept doing those weird crowd cutaways, is what I would see. This is pretty early on. We can go
they
towards
use
the
stock
end.
footage of crowds in between all this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, like that was a full like mockumentary of E3 for sure.
Felt
Yeah.
very like Adult Swimmy. I don't
Yeah.
know. Looking back at the tweet when someone was like, "There's no way Bethesda, Ubisoft, Microsoft, Devolver Digital, and Sony can be as bad as this disaster today," pointing towards EA. Devolver Digital responded like, "Hold my beer," and they nailed it.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I like that at the end of the day, there's still someone that can, a pretty big publisher, to be honest. I mean, Devolver Digital puts out a lot of shit. They could just run like a 15-minute like gag conference. It's cool. It's cool. Let's talk about another gag conference. Bethesda ended up pushing us till midnight on Sunday,
Zing!
and then didn't really show much except two games that look kind of cool. We gotta say,
Yeah.
I mean, Wolfenstein.
Arguably 3.
What's the third one?
If you're a Dishonored fan.
Oh yeah, that's right. They did have the
Oh, yeah.
Dishonored. Yeah.
DLC.
But
That's just
man,
standalone. Crazy
they're-
enough.
yeah, like that was a conference that I think it pissed people off for a lot of reasons. It pissed people off because the last 2 years have been really good. It pissed people off because this didn't need to be a conference. It pissed people off because a lot of people stayed up really, really late for their respective time zones. I mean, Ko stayed up till midnight or like 1 or 2 a.m., which is pretty late for him. But some people in like Europe were up at like 5 or 6 a.m., right? Like they were staying up all night. That made them really upset. And I don't think anyone like looks at what Bethesda did for their conference and was like, "Good job, guys. Well done. That was a worthwhile conference." Like, I don't think anyone was super excited by the conference itself.
Yeah. And it was even more insulting that it was just a video. Like he came on stage.
It was a YouTube playlist.
Hi, press play, walk away, come back, goodbye. And it could have been a YouTube video like they released during the day. It just didn't make any sense.
Yeah. There was also so much hype too after the last 2 years where they announced so many new things and showed so many new things that it just wasn't there this year.
2 years ago, they set the bar so high with Todd Howard and doing his Fallout 4 presentation. It was just so epic. And then they had they had Dishonored 2 and Doom gameplay. And it was just like the bar was set really high. The next year, they did pretty good. Very close to the first year. And this year, just like nothing.
Not even that they didn't come out with like contents for games. Like the content they showed, like something the community has been very against, like paid mods and stuff. Like I feel like they've tried that idea so many times, and people are like so against that idea, yet they still keep trying to feed us like garbage. I don't know. Like it wasn't just them not having good content; it's the content they provide was like, I guess that's what I just said. It was really shitty. Like
it was.
I don't know.
You're not wrong. Someone in the chat said like they should have done what Nintendo does, and I 100% agree. Like, set expectations for this thing. Say that you're not gonna get what everyone wants to be, either like a new Elder Scrolls or whatever the big thing is that people want. Like, say that stuff's not gonna be there. Set expectations for this conference, and then don't do the conference in the middle of the fucking night. and
Exactly.
I think the reason, again, maybe there's another reason, but it makes sense to me that the reason they pushed it back was because they wanted a lot of the focus for attendees to be on the like fair thing that they had going on, where they were serving food and like different fair games, carnival type games, and then they had like the Chainsmokers show up for like an EDC show afterwards. And if that's earlier in the night,
stacks of money.
Yeah, which was hilarious, by the way. The dancing stacks of money on the screen behind them was just perfect for what we saw. But
I'm pretty sure if you look closely on actually across all of the tops of those bills were all the Bethesda executives.
pretty much. Yeah. From what I heard, chat, exactly. From what I heard, the party was fine. Like Jesse Cox was super into it. It was open bar. Great time. Don't do a conference like that. Just announce you're having a party and fucking show the games on other panels. Like, they didn't need to do that. That all aside, Wolfenstein looks like a fucking amazing game. I cannot wait to play the new Wolfenstein.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
That is by Machine Head, I think.
Yeah. That game looks fucking fantastic. They had the creative director, someone that works at Machine Games, last night on the Giant Bomb E3 late night show, and that, like, he was really drunk. He was sitting there vaping on the couch, just talking about the game, and I was like, yeah, I want to play this guy's game. Like, this guy seems really fucking laid back and chill. And I was upset because they didn't ask him, like, did you do acid? Is that why acid's in this game? Like, why is acid in this fucking game? Because I really want to know what that is. But he did say that you're not going to get like an acid trip experience. Like, that was someone else's experience that they're trying to show. That's not BJ Blazkowicz doing acid. So that kind of sucks. But there's a wheelchair scene where you're in a wheelchair just fucking killing Nazis. That was in the trailer. Like,
yeah, apparently that's the first level, is that doing that.
Yeah. I can't wait.
Or Metal Gear Solid 5ing it.
A little bit, yeah. And he also said, without spoiling what happens in the other games, the big choice that you make in Wolfenstein that like kind of changes some of the things that you get in the game will also be there and make sense and lead into the new game. So it's gonna that decision will continue ahead in the story, which is cool. I was glad to see that as well. But yeah, that game looked great. I don't know if we have any other thoughts on it. We can move on if not. Did you play? Have you played those Waffle? If not, you should.
Very little. Again, I like to watch. Like I watched Dan play Wolfenstein, the last one. So I'm kind of a watcher, man, for a lot of these games. But now I want to play them. So this new one, I'll definitely be jumping on the boat for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks great.
The Wolfenstein New Order was like, first person shooters were so stale and boring for such a long time that this one just like revitalized it all for me. It was just so good. The controls and the combat and stuff. So I'm so excited for this one.
Yeah. It does look good. And then they showed The Evil Within 2. Both these games leaked. We both knew those were going to be there. We got a little bit of gameplay at the very end of the trailer. That game looks just about as weird as the first one. Just about as bizarre.
Yeah.
Definitely seems to go more psychological and less gore. There's still going to be clearly a whole lot of gore and there's a bunch of nastiness, but the first one was like, especially towards the end. I mean, it was just, you were walking through slaughterhouses basically. But this one looks kind of more about the psychological horror of the situation. And they kind of also seem to root this one a little bit more in reality with the whole, we got to take you back into the weirdness kind of thing, implying that there's somewhere that isn't weird, which is kind of different from the first one. But yeah, I mean, it looks like they're doing some crazy stuff with this one, kind of accepting that it's just this weird ass world and just going to kind of play with it.
Waffle is a fellow anti-horror game person. I played the first one of these. It was pretty scary, but it was like doable. Like it was, you could get through it. So I would say maybe check this out, but
I think I'll watch on this one.
it looks like they're going kind of crazy with a lot of the gameplay in this one too, in terms of the scariness. So I don't know. Dan, any thoughts on Evil Within 2? Not Evil Within Dead.
I like the first game. It reminded me a lot of like Resident Evil 4 with a good mix of action with some horror creepiness. I thought it was a decent game, and I'm looking forward to this one. Because usually with these kind of sequels, sometimes the sequel just improves on all the faults of the first one, and it just becomes a great experience.
Look, I think Ko enjoyed the end, but did you enjoy the end of the original Evil Within? Because that last area was probably the most upset I've been playing a single player game in a very, very, very long time. Do you remember the like little arena thing that you got stuck in before the final boss?
Oh,
and
I can't.
They don't have like any. There was no like health unless you stocked up before. You didn't have health. You didn't have weapons. You didn't have like any of your anything.
Oh yeah,
and it was just a fucking nightmare. Which sad for the game, but
really hard at the end. That was tough to get through. I remember that part.
I remember that stuff too. I think Ko stocked up before he got there, so it wasn't as bad.
Bro, I always stock up.
Yeah, for me, I was just kind of like, I got to finish this game.
I travel around like a small store in those games.
Yeah. I didn't have anything. I was fucking tilted. They showed us the Quake Champions trailer, $1 million prize pool, and then everyone remembered Quake Champions was kind of dead, and we moved on with our lives.
Wow.
I mean, they didn't show anything to be like, hey, Quake Champions, it's cool. They showed BJ Blazkowicz is going to be a champion in a Quake game, and that's it. And then $1 million tournament at QuakeCon. I don't know. I'm not super into it.
You can't force your game to be an esport.
Well, you could Quake. I think Quake has enough of a pedigree as an esport that.
Yeah, but like the new.
I understand what
know.
you're saying.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think what it is. A better way to say that, in my opinion, would be you can't force someone to watch $1 million tournament just because it has $1 million in it, right? Like if that's the biggest thing the tournament has going for it, and that's how you're attracting people to watch a tournament, not the game just being inherently like fucking incredible, then that's kind of the issue, right? Like that's marketing money is what that is. They're trying to get people to play that game because there's $1 million tournament and
yep.
whenever QuakeCon is, August or whatever. I don't know. That was kind of a whatever to me.
Yeah. There's been plenty of games that have tried that, and just like the idea has not really worked out too well.
Yeah.
If a game is good enough, of like a multiplayer game with a good enough competitive scene, then it can become one. But let that happen naturally, not forcing it with money.
Totally. I agree. And then Dishonored, Death of the Outsider, not an expansion. It's standalone, right, Co? It's its own thing.
Yep, standalone game. It's $30. We are not clued into on length, and it seems to have two pretty iconic characters, Billy from the first couple games actually, and then you're going after the pretty much one of the most iconic characters from the series, the Outsider, which is the guy that has the black eyes.
He's the crazy guy,
crazy underworld weird dude that gives the powers of the Dishonored. So yeah, it's it looks pretty awesome. And I'm hoping that it's not just like a 4-hour thing for $30. I'm a little worried about this because this is weird. It's not an expansion. It's not a DLC. It's a standalone.
Yeah.
So it's like, what made you choose to do this? And is it going to be worth $30? A little bit concerned.
Totally.
So waiting for more info.
Yeah. Dan, you pretty much agree?
Yeah, same boat.
Yeah.
Also, Sony's doing the same thing with the Uncharted DLC. They're making that a separate game and not like a DLC for Uncharted 4, which is what it was originally going to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely they're trying to continue the franchises that everyone knows and make a buck off of that. But hopefully, a good game comes out of that as well, not just a cash grab, right? I think that's what kind of to surmise what you guys are saying. And then we can move on to Microsoft. We're getting short on time, so we'll kind of rapid fire this.
Exclusive.
Okay, 4K exclusive.
Yeah, god damn, you're right. The second he said that, I was like, nope, that's Microsoft. That's pretty much what's Microsoft now. What do you guys think about the Xbox One X name?
Could have been worse, but
Xbox.
I mean, it really is the Xbox, right? It's the Xbox One X or the X.
The triple X.
Xbox has 2 X's, does.
I always called the other one the Xbone, so now it's just weird. You just put an X on the end.
It can't be the Xbone though, unless it's the Xbone
Feels
X.
like they're going down the
Xbox.
Nintendo route.
Oh,
Or like the 3DS, the new 3DS. So like new 3DS XL. Like it just feels like they're just trying to. I don't know. I hate the naming.
It's also
They're
like
going-
I feel bad for the mother at Christmas time who goes to the store and is like, yeah, my son wants an Xbox. Oh, well, does he want the S or the X? The
We also
cheaper
have
one.
360s and originals.
Yeah, the cheaper one, and then Christmas Day comes. God damn it, Mom! I wanted the X. What the fuck?
And then they
It's like an
announced,
original
like,
Xbox with Tony Hawk Pro Skater, and that's it.
Yeah.
They announced like
You said you wanted an Xbox.
there's going to be backwards compatibility between Xbox One games. I'm like, wait, so there was an idea that Xbox One games wouldn't be playable on Xbox One X?
Yeah,
Like,
right. Like that
how
was
is
such
that
a
even
weird
thing?
thing.
That should be normal.
Yeah, I guess
that's
you
not
have
how
to
it should
announce
be.
that, right? Like you have to say that, but that was a weird thing for sure. All that said, $500 price point. What do you guys think of the price point?
Actually, I think it's good because as a person who just bought a brand new like Ultra HD TV, Ultra HD TV like Blu-ray players or whatever are really expensive by them. They're like $300 by themselves.
Yeah.
So I know that I think the S does do that as well, doesn't it? It does Ultra HD.
The S
Blu-rays.
does 4K. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, if you're just going for that, I feel like the S is a better option. But then on top of that, for an extra like $200, you're also going to get a 4K gaming console, which I'd say is pretty decent. That's
Cheaper
good
than a
price point.
PC. If you don't have a PC, I think that's not a bad choice if you like Xbox's games. Like, it's not a bad.
I don't think
decision.
they did a good enough job selling the system.
Yeah, if you have a powerful
still not
PC,
convinced.
it's like you have no need for this thing.
Totally agree.
Well,
Pretty
more
much,
importantly, oh, sorry, Dan, go ahead.
I said because like every game that's exclusive is available on PC too, so there's like no reason to actually own the thing if you have a good PC.
Yeah.
Good point.
And I also, to kind of go with what Co said as well, like the first party lineups were not that strong. For the like Forza's great. It's a good game if you're into driving games. But besides that, what else was first party there? Metro Exodus, it's coming to everything. Assassin's Creed Origins coming to everything. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is exclusive on Xbox One for consoles.
You have to realize how large the console market is. Like, yes, we are PC gamers and we love it, but like a massive portion of this industry is console.
Totally.
So, and they don't have PCs. So even though, yes, it's going to come to everything, it is available on Xbox. And if they're going to have a console, right, then there's still a lot available for it. So I don't know. I feel like a massive majority of the gaming industry is on console, even if we don't like to admit it.
No, I mean, you're totally right. Yeah, totally right there.
By the way, I'm noticing chat a lot of people saying like, "Hey, Xbox wasn't marketed towards you." I'm not talking about towards me. I'm talking about towards me as an Xbox One owner. Like, as an Xbox One owner, why would I want to pay $500 to get the Xbox One X if I already have an Xbox One? That's what they didn't sell me on. Like, I didn't see a huge amount of increased graphics. I didn't see comparisons between my current system and the new one. Like, I feel like there should have been more for us. And actual people that already own Xbox Ones, where it's like, this is why you want an Xbox One X right now. This is why you want to purchase it today or next week or next month. And I didn't come away feeling that. The PS Pro, they did a lot of like side-by-sides. They were explaining like exactly what it would be better. And I left those conferences kind of being like, okay, I'll probably want that for VR, and it does look better. I saw the side-by-sides and stuff like that. I didn't get that with the Xbox One X.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. But I think, if you're comparing exclusives between Sony and Microsoft, I think Sony wins exclusive-wise. Like, they just have a better library of games. Will they look as good as the best-looking Xbox One X game? Probably not, but there's going to be more of them on PlayStation without a doubt. So I don't know. I don't think they move the meter that much, but we'll see when they go on sale.
The idea that like games like Destiny aren't even going to play at 60 FPS on that new tech, that's a shame.
Yeah,
honestly,
that would be a huge price point too, right? Like, come play Destiny on our console because we can run it at 60 FPS.
Yeah, double the FPS than what are you going to get in the PS4 Pro?
Totally. What were we gonna say, Dan? Sorry, I cut you off.
It said the PS4 Pro is currently $100 cheaper. And most people don't understand what the difference between the 4X on the Xbox One and the PS4 Pro are. They both say 4K on the box. Most people aren't going to understand what the difference is between the two. And so they'll be like, oh, this system's $100 cheaper. I'll just buy this one.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the $100 definitely
especially
makes a lot of
parents
difference.
that want to save some money.
Totally. We're not going to go through every game because we are running a little bit short on time. But I do want to ask Waffle, as a... maybe not a current, but a prior Minecraft lover. What was the idea of like crossplay between everything is pretty big, right?
That's like the one thing I really caught was actually really cool. Crossplay between all the platforms for Microsoft, or not for Minecraft, will I don't know. Will it change things? We'll see. I'm not a huge like server fan, so I don't really care too much about like crossing over and like playing with people on different platforms or whatever. But I think Minecraft's kind of, for me at least, definitely dying down. It's been what, like 8 or 9 years at this point. It came out in like 2008 or something. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't think it'll be as big as deal as it sounds like. Maybe for like the people who are still very much into Minecraft, but I don't know. 4K Minecraft, yo.
Yeah, I thought that was really. I just thought that was weird to be like fucking going crazy about like 4K Minecraft on our system. Like, it's Minecraft in 4K. And then they show the game and you're like,
it looks the same.
Those are the crispest blocks I've ever seen.
Man, those are some really good blocks.
Those are the hardest, razor sharp edges of those blocks.
Yeah. They did announce that Super Duper graphics pack. That's actually the name. That's not me saying it. The Super Duper graphics packs is the real thing coming out.
What a name.
Yeah, coming out this summer, which was cool.
The most exciting game of the Xbox conference for me, which has nothing to do with Xbox, is the Metro game. It looked really good.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my!
We were talking about that.
Looked amazing.
We were all saying that when it started. We were like, "What the fuck? What the fuck is this?" And Co was like, "Is this Metro?" And
Dude,
I'm like, "No."
Oh, it was amazing.
Yeah.
I was like, "Is this Metro?" Oh, it's Metro. Like, oh, they're starting with Metro?
Yeah,
like,
we were all a little shocked.
To start with too. Like, the second it said 4A games, I was just like, you have got to be kidding me. And then it looked beautiful, it played beautifully, it looked organic. Like, everything about that trailer was 10 of 10. I was
Mhm.
woo, woo, woo.
And the crazy part about all of it was, I think it looked better than any other game at that conference. It actually kind of fucked Microsoft because every game after that, I was like, doesn't look as good as that Metro game, man.
And you want to hear what's even crazier? That
What's
was most likely all in-game footage.
Probably, yeah. Yeah.
Because
Real
Metro,
gameplay,
even
but, yeah.
even Last Light Metro looks gorgeous. Like it's such a standout game. Just the way they design their environments and the way they do the lighting and everything, it is top notch. So yeah.
Yeah. It looked really good. I agree. Like this thing right here.
Oh, it was
Typically-
in engine, not in game.
Okay. Typically right
That's
here,
important.
they'll do this like pan and then it'll be like game name. But then they're like, no, we're just going to continue playing. We're actually just going to keep going. And I was like, okay, let's go see what a building should look like. After playing PUBG for hours, this is very refreshing to see because there's actual things in this little city. Just like tons of clutter, which looked really, really good. I agree with both what you're saying, Dan and Co. Looked great. Probably a little ways off for this. I don't think they said anything of when it's coming out, anything like that. But definitely a hell of a way to show off your new console for RPG fans. Like this is what the console can do, for sure. Not really for our interest, but it did set a lot of people on fire in terms of excitement with the Dragon Ball Fighter Z stuff. Like that was a big thing for them to show the Guilty Gear game engine and Dragon Ball Z World. People were super excited for that. That was kind of cool to see. Weird seeing Black Desert Online though. I guess you got to show an MMO, but that was a weird thing. Sea of Thieves. You guys hyped for that? I was kind of anti-hype after that conference.
I'm hyped.
Really?
It seems like a great ice cream game, and like just fun with friends. That's what it seems like. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm hyped.
I was kind of like, oh, Sea of Thieves, this could be kind of fun. The ship-to-ship combat could be interesting. Oh, look at Skull and Bones.
I agree.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's how you do that.
Yeah. Was a little weird. I don't know. They had, again, on the Giant Bomb. If you guys aren't watching a lot of the Giant Bomb stuff, you should. They interviewed some of the devs last night. Sea of Thieves guys were there. And they were saying a lot of, like, they were comparing it to how PUBG has that experience that you want to tell everyone what happened to you in your PUBG game, right? They were saying with Sea of Thieves, they're seeing a lot of the same stuff where, and they're pretty vocal about it. Like, I think you can go over to the official Sea of Thieves forums and like read player experiences of things that happened. And a lot of those like player narratives that are being created, he was saying, are very much like what's going on in PUBG. Granted, this is the community manager. This is obviously his job to like say it's very similar to what you're seeing in other games. So who knows how much of that is actually true, but I can kind of see where he's coming from. Like, I'm sure there's some unique things that happen to certain people that won't happen to other people in that style of game. After watching that gameplay, it didn't seem that deep. I wasn't super excited for Sea of Thieves after what they showed. So I do agree with Waffle, though. It's probably going to be pretty fun with friends. I just don't know how long.
It looked gorgeous still. Like its art style looked great.
Yeah. Crackdown 3. I was pretty mad. Terry Crews kind of stole any ounce of hype I had just because he's Terry Crews. I was like, hey, it's Terry Crews. That's really exciting. Oh, fuck, it's Crackdown still. Like, that was kind of that's kind of how I reacted to that shit. I don't know what you guys thought about it, but feel free to jump in. Because I just meh.
Yeah, it didn't really pull me in. It was like, well, this is cool. Nothing really. I could see that was like, oh, I gotta play this in that trailer.
Yeah. Kind of with Waffle, again, that might be a game fun with friends. I don't know if I'm going to go that way solo-wise. Kind of rough. Shadow of War? You guys excited for that? I'm pretty excited for that.
Yeah,
I'm very excited for that. The angle they're going with it, with not only the improved mechanics, but this like new comedy thing, and with all, oh man, I kind of like that. I'm sure that's going to rub some people the wrong way, especially like the LOTR purists. But although there is a lot of humor in LOTR, but I thought it was cool, and I'm very much looking forward to see where they go with that.
Yeah.
The writing on that troll guy was just phenomenal. They just nailed the humor.
Totally agree. Waffle, what about you? Pretty
I have
excited?
not played the first one, but this gives me the perfect opportunity to go back and do that, so I can play the second one.
Yeah, I saw Shorty's actually been playing the first one pretty recently.
Mm-hmm.
You should play the first one. It's the
Yeah.
combat in that game is.
I've heard great things about it, so yeah.
It's great.
It's not super long too, so you can get it done in a few streams.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. One of the other things that I thought was really refreshing about this, the first one had a color palette a la Gears of War, like very dark, very brown. This one looks super colorful. Like trees are green. There's a lot of not brown colors in it. It looks graphically like it's going to be a refreshing thing to see in this style of game, or in this game specifically. I don't have the audio up, but this is the comedic relief that hopefully kind of stays true throughout the entire game. That looks great though. Also, these guys have been doing, there's like 14 episodes of them showing the game in great detail that they've been leading up to E3 that are like 10, 20-minute videos on YouTube. So if you're super interested in it, go watch those because they expand even more so on the tower fights, which are mentioned like here at the very end. Apparently that stuff is incredibly in-depth. You have to like counter things within the different towers in terms of the generals that you send in. And it's not just like, hey, we're going to go capture this. It's you actually have to plan out everything going into it, which is pretty cool to see. It's good to see that type of depth in it. And then was October 10th already announced for the release date? I don't know if that's new or not, but it is coming out on October 10th. So, and then last thing, well, Ori, got to mention Ori because it looked fucking beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Trailer was really powerful.
Yeah. Can't wait for that. Looked great. But then Anthem, we saw that at BioWare teased. What do you guys think about Anthem?
Questions.
Yeah?
Yeah, a
Lots
lot
of
of questions.
questions.
It looked great. I don't know. I'm excited.
It looked
I do have a lot of
amazing.
questions, but it's
It looked amazing graphically, but it looked a little too amazing graphically. And there's a lot of unanswered gameplay questions.
Like,
Couldn't say it
like
better.
what? To build on that.
Like
I'm wondering.
it reminded me a lot of Destiny. Like how close is it going to be? Is it like an RPG system? Do you have equipment? Like, do you choose? Like, how can you customize your mech a lot? Like, there's a lot of things that wasn't really explained very well.
Like Destiny
How-
meets Horizon a little bit. That's what it felt like when I was watching it.
Can I play this game solo? Am I forced to do groups? How much content is there? Is there an overarching story? How far is the inventory system? How deep's the ability system? Is it per chassis or per person? What's the LFG? Like, they've basically they've showed us a little bit to almost ask more questions than actually answer them. But here's the thing though, they did it smart because everything we saw looked absolutely badass. So it's definitely a whet your appetite kind of thing. But if this is the kind of game we're going to be doing for fun with friends, or as an experience where it's like, okay, I can play this for the next 6 months. Like, is this going to have raids? Are we going to see guilds in this game? Is there going to be an in-depth PvP and tournament system? Am I going to be, like, there's so many questions that we have about this. So, and I hope we answer them soon because it looks badass. I'm a big mecha fan. So the idea of having my little army of power suits that are all tricked out and upgraded and stuff, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I agree. I think this game is so early that a lot of the questions you guys are asking, they probably don't have the answer to yet.
And by the way, chat, we know a lot of this stuff has already been answered. I'm just saying there's still a lot more that hasn't been. They did a bunch of dev interviews for this afterwards, so.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. The game did look very pretty. There's no doubt about that. It was a gorgeous looking game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much of this is like him jumping into an automated travel path, or I'm sure that first part definitely was. Like, that's probably how you'll get to most of the missions, right? Is jumping off that giant cliff thing and flying to wherever you want to go.
For all we know, that was the Destiny orbit system.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just flying in space, though, you're actually seeing new things, which is kind of fun. And then I'm sure the combat will change. Like everything that we're seeing here, you're probably going to see a different version of that in a year or whenever they decide to show this next. But I think it was a great first showing. Like, it got people super hyped for it in a world where people are super in love with Destiny 2 coming out soon. Like, this looks like a great game to play after that for sure.
Wish it was out sooner, though. I gotta say,
Yeah.
there a little part of me wishes that they were like release date September 6th.
Yeah, like going
Ooh,
head
it
to
would have
head.
been like, oh, here we go, boys.
Yeah.
You know, but
Yeah.
now it's gonna be next year. Like, it's not nearly as competitive, unfortunately. So.
Yeah.
I'm sure that Bungie's already thinking like, okay, get our next content pack release date synced up with the launch of this game. Like,
Well,
we
yeah,
need
I
to
mean,
knock this out of the park.
It's Activision, right? So if they go the Blizzard route, they're going to do literally the same day. They'll pin some new DLC with it and say, hey, come play Destiny instead of fucking Anthem, the new game. And that was pretty much in a nutshell the Microsoft stuff. We'll skim through EA real quick. We can bypass a ton of the sports stuff. Not really interested in all that. They showed the new
Sports and Star Wars. Cool. All right.
There you go. That's pretty much EA. Yeah. Well, Need for
Great
Speed
show,
does
guys.
look good.
Thanks for coming out, GiantWaffle.
But Way Out. Come on, you can't skip that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. A Way Out does
That
look
was
good.
That was like my highlight of the EA play.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I'm hyped for that game.
Did you play Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons?
I have
Waffle?
not.
You got to
No.
play that game. Put that game
Yeah.
on the list.
That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard
Yeah.
immediately after.
Don't
Yeah.
read chat. Just play it. And
Exactly.
turn chat off.
Yeah. It's really, really good. And if anything, it makes the excitement for A Way Out even more. You'll be craving for that game even more. That was definitely good to see there. Need for Speed Payback had a lot of burnout elements into it, where you could do the takedown events, but it still looked like a Need for Speed game, and I don't know. They got to do a lot of selling on that game for me to be interested in it.
I was watching gameplay of that afterwards, and they were on PC,
Yeah.
running 60 frames, high resolution. They got close to the car, then it jarringly skips to 720p, 30 frames per second to do the cutscene, and then it comes back to high res.
Oh,
for PC.
God.
It's
I
one of
hate
those
that shit.
things where, it's
God
jarringly
damn.
different graphics. Yeah.
I hate that shit for sure. That stuff sucks. And then the big bang at the end, besides Anthem, of course, was the Battlefront 2 stuff. And I guess the last question I'll ask her on the show, did they win you guys over for Battlefront 2? Are you excited for Battlefront again after that? Or are you just as made out after the first one?
They for as much emphasis they put on, we listen to you. Single player campaign, don't worry. They didn't show anything really for it.
Yeah.
And I can tell from the trailers they gave even months ago, there is definitely elements of like some sort of single player thing. It's going to depend on the single player campaign, in my opinion, and how good it is. Because it looks.
Hey, Waffle, what if the single player campaign is a 2 to 4 hour movie length kind of thing?
Oh, I don't know, right? I'm not. I don't want like. I want it to be good, right? Good does not have to mean like it's super long. I want it to be enjoyable. So,
Quality over quantity kind of thing.
Exactly. I want it to be a quality, not just thrown in there because people want it and it's just shitty. I want it to be an enjoyable single player campaign with an improved multiplayer experience from all this stuff that you guys complained about from the previous one. And if they can do that, I'm sold.
Okay. Dan, what about you?
They did say something kind of cool, like the single player campaign is going to be an actual story link between like 2 movies or something. Is that how that worked?
It's a story link between Return of the Jedi and, or sorry, the last prequel and then A New Hope, or is it? I forget what.
Well, regardless of where it is an actual
Yes.
canon, never before seen link.
Yes.
So I'm sure there's like I bet you there are people that are Star
6 and
Wars
7.
fans
That's what
that
it is.
never planned on playing a multiplayer Star Wars game that are looking at this and they're like, I think I may get this. I
Oh,
would not be
without a doubt.
surprised. Yeah. So that's kind of cool on its own.
Yeah, totally. It's between 6 and 7. Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. So, the newer, old stuff. The newest stuff and the oldest stuff.
The multiplayer looked like a lot of fun, and like I want to try it out, but so did the Battle of Hoth when they showed it off for the first game. So that's what makes me worry is like, will you have the longevity that's needed to make it long a few weeks after launch, a month after launch? Let's see if they learn their lesson about the multiplayer.
Yeah, that's really the
Dan,
other big thing.
You took the words out of my mouth. I was actually going to say that about the hype level. That the first one also looked amazing when we saw it. If you guys remember, like we were actually pretty hyped for the first Battlefront. when it
Everyone
came
was
out.
fucking
And then we
stupid
all
hyped.
played it for 2 days and we were done. So I'm hoping it's not the similar situation. Thankfully, Sakuril said, as a Battlefront 1 aficionado, he played the hell out of that game. He said 2 felt better.
He was there playing it, yeah.
Class system added to it. The weapons felt weightier. Like he said, it felt better. So hopefully that'll carry over a little bit and maybe it'll last 4 days this time.
Yeah. I mean, we did play it for 2 days, but I feel like for those 2 days, it dominated Twitch, and anyone that played it for like 8+ hours. Like it was a very good 2-day game.
To be fair, JP, Star Wars Solitaire could dominate Twitch for 2 days, but just Star Wars anything would
Yeah,
probably
kinda.
be on Twitch.
Yeah. What were you saying, Waffle?
I don't think I was saying. I was just agreeing.
Okay,
that
you're just
I
agreeing.
think pretty much you can slap Star Wars on something and end up playing it.
It might be true. It might be true. But that was E3 and kind of the majority of stuff that we wanted to highlight. So let's do some shout outs and call it a show. Thanks for coming on here last minute, Waffle and Dan. Dan, we'll start with you for some shout outs.
Hi, I'm DansGaming, /DansGaming on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, easy to find, variety streamer. Currently in the middle of the summer drop for games, so I'm going to try out PUBG for the first time tomorrow. If you guys are interested to see me fail horribly, I'll try to be playing that tomorrow. Hopefully it's fun.
Nice.
Thanks for having me on the show, JP. It's been a lot of fun. I love E3 is like Christmas for me. I get to discuss all the games. I love it.
Totally. Yeah. Thanks so much for coming on. Waffle, you as well, sir. Do some shout outs.
Yeah, my name is GiantWaffle, again with Dan. We actually work in the same studio at Nerd Fusion. You can find me at twitch.tv/GiantWaffle, twitter.com/GiantWaffle, YouTube, GiantWaffle pretty much everywhere. Just don't YouTube my name, please. That'd be great. I had a blast coming on here today and talking E3 stuff. I'm excited because, again, used to be mainly a one-game streamer, and I'm kind of getting into like the variety world. And E3 makes me hyped just because of all the games I play. So I have a huge list of games now for summer, and I mean, I'm hyped. I'm totally hyped. It's gonna be fun.
Awesome stuff. Last but not least, some shout outs, sir.
Absolutely. Well, a huge thank you, as always, to JP and Dan and GiantWaffle. This was a lot of fun talking about good games with good people. My name is Ko. You can find me every single day at 8 a.m. EDT on my channel doing a lot of Battlegrounds, custom games, and solo games. Got RimWorld coming up. We've got a whole bunch of games that we've got to get done before the October. We've got a God of War franchise playthrough, the first South Park game, Shadows of War, and we're going to start doing those pretty soon. So hope to see you around the channel to get all caught up for this October. As always, thank you guys for watching.
Awesome stuff. We should be back next week with a normal show. Zeke should return, and we'll get down to the bottom of the VR porn at E3. Also, apparently General Admission kind of fucked E3 this year. Apparently, it's a nightmare to get around at that conference. It's like 8-hour plus wait times for any game that you want to try to play. So for what, like a $250 ticket?
Yeah,
That's
it was
kinda
bad
shitty.
last year when it was industry only. It still was a few hours of wait.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine adding public on top of all of it.
Yeah, and a lot of those public tickets, right? A lot of the games are being shown behind closed doors, so the public can't even see them. So, we'll probably talk about that some next week. I want to get Zeke's opinion on that as he was there in person. So, we'll see you then next week for more Drop Frames, Wednesday at 5 o'clock Eastern. We're out. Thanks again to Waffle and Dan. We'll see you guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you.